So I have this reoccurring thing that happens with my husband, not even on a daily basis, but on an hourly basis, where he does things just to get a reaction out of me. And it's not being a team player, right? I know that. But God gives you what you need to heal. He gives you what you need to heal. He gives you the people in your life to heal the things that need to be healed. So that's my take on life. And so one of my things that I'm healing is reactions. Like, there has never been a time where someone says something to upset me, like purposely upset me or anger me or whatever, that I have not had to have a word back. Whether it's like just one word or whatever, but it's like having to have a reaction to whatever the person has said. And let me tell you this, I don't even shut my mouth for a cop or in the place where I should be shutting my mouth for, right? Like, I have this problem. It's a problem of mine and it needs to be healed. Okay. And in the Bible, it says, it's a proverb. No, it's a psalm. No, I don't know what it is. It's probably a proverb. It sounds like it would be a proverb. But it's something like, and I would love it tattooed on my arm, but it's something like, a fool responds to harsh words. A wise man keeps silent. Something like that. And I'm going to say a wise woman keeps silent. So I know that I should be staying silent, and I'm trying to heal that. Let's see where I was going with this. Where was I going with this? Oh, yes, I remember now. Okay, so I just dropped my kids off at two of my kids. I still have one of my kids at Vacation Bible School. And I saw a car go by that said, like it never happened. And it stood out to me, like it never happened. And it was God speaking to me, like, just act like whatever was bothering you, like whatever bothered you, whether it's like a text someone says or something they say to you in person, just, oops, sorry, burning. I had this propped up on my thing. Just act like it never happened. Act like it never happened. And then you can't ruminate on it. So I think the biggest problem is that something happens and it gets under our skin and we let it fester, right? Like, okay, say that thing that happened was a mosquito bite, okay? So mosquito bites do not really bother me. Most of the time, I don't get mosquito bites in general. My husband gets a ton. My middle child gets a ton. I don't know what it is with them, but we can be in the same situation for an hour and they'll get 100 mosquitoes, right? Not 100, but like 20 mosquito bites and I'll get 0. But I did just get a mosquito bite for the first time in the summer, like last week. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. And it itched for a second, but then I left it alone, right? And then I noticed 2 days later, because I forgot about it, because it doesn't stay itching, that it was almost healed, right? Because I wasn't bothering the mosquito bite. I didn't let it, I don't itch it, I don't scratch it, I don't go back to it, I don't even have a thought of it in my mind. It's like the mosquito bite never happened, okay? So if you keep letting that thing that was said that bothered you fester, right? If you keep itching it, if you keep letting the thoughts about it fester in your mind, it's going to grow and it's eventually going to get infected, and then it's going to stay in you, right? It's not going to heal. But if you pretend like that thing never even happened, right? Like I even saw just like a story about, I don't like to read news articles. I don't watch the news, all of that. Because there's just, not all they report, but a majority of stuff that they report is just negative things. And like, I don't need to know about negative things that are happening all over the country and the world, right? So he sent me an article. I had already seen the thing. It was about campers dying at a campground. I already knew about it. A tree fell on their camper. And I'm like, I already knew about this because my dad was camping up in Pennsylvania 1 hour from there, and I didn't know about the storm that came through. And I was like, are you okay? And that's all I used the news article for. Like, I saw that happen. I saw an article about, because I go camping. So I guess that's why my husband sent this to me. But he could have just mentioned it in passing. So I saw the article. I immediately texted my dad and said, hey, or no, I immediately called him and he called me back. And I was like, hey, there was a bad storm up there. Is everything okay where you are? And that's what I used the article for. Not to like ruminate on it, not to think about, oh my gosh, a mother and son passed away because a tree fell on their camper. I take my 3 kids, my 3 boys, camping with me by myself. We have a camper just like that, right? And we were just camping in Pennsylvania 2 weeks ago. I'm not taking that article and putting myself in that situation. That can literally happen to anyone, anywhere, anytime. You can be driving a car and a tree can fall on your car and you can die. My old tenant at my rental property, a tree fell on her car as she was driving in a storm. And she had to, like, she didn't die, but she had to get her arm, I don't know, something about her wrist, pins, rod in the wrist, whatever. Things like that. Freak accidents can happen all the time, okay? It does make me more aware that I probably, like, next time, if a storm was rolling through, because there's summer storms all the time, I might, if I'm camping around a trees, right? Sometimes you're in a campground and you're like, there's no trees around you. You're completely open in the sun. Our last place, I was right next to all the trees. And it made me think, okay, well, I might go in where the rec center is or where the open picnic tables are. And I might wait out a storm there to be a little safer rather than like being in the camper where a tree or the trees are all around, right? And that's what I used it for. I used it for informing my future brain. But I saw that text and I was like, I was a little annoyed because I was like, I already knew about this. Like, I already saw this a couple days ago. And I pressed it and I pressed trash can and I didn't have to respond to it. And it was like it never happened. And I just wanted you to take that with you, because the problem isn't the things that happen to us. And sometimes we have reactions that we're not happy about, but we don't need to sit there and let those reactions fester shame in us and like make us more shameful of ourselves. We know we're sinners. We know we can do better. And if we let that shame sit there and fester in us, and whatever that thing is, if something angered us, if we let that anger just like keep ruminating it, then we're going to get darkness in us, okay? But if you just go, oh, I made a mistake, that reaction was not great, I'm going to let it go. And I'm not going to fester about it. And I'm not going to feel a bunch of shame and negative emotions about how I reacted. And I'm not going to ruminate on the thing that happened and make me sadder and angry or whatever. So let that stay with you. Just, if that helps anyone today, I just had to record it. And that's all. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.